the Babezilla mobile.
So clearly this one you're not supposed to take seriously. We are talking Babezilla versus the Zombie Horde, directed by Andrew J. Chambers and stars Stephanie Love as Babezilla. Love is actually a adult actress by trade, I believe, and a model, dancer, all that kind of stuff. And this one kind of reminds me of a previous movie that I've reviewed on the channel called MILFs vs. Zombies, which kind of straddled the line between a softcore porn movie and a kind of schlocky B movie. And this is kind of the same in this one. The story, do you care? Does it matter? Not really with a movie like this. You're kind of watching it for a laugh, things like that. But it focuses on Babezilla, who is actually a descendant from an alien race of lizard women, and she works as a kind of stripper and everything like that. And she secretly can kind of reveal a lizard-like face, a little bit like the kind of TV series, if that makes sense. And there's this kind of drug dealer who is out there trying to make a new kind of like meth that will basically make women kind of like essentially their slaves, but it kind of makes them zombies as well. Or we have this kind of this neat idea where when women take this particular drug, they not only change into zombies, but change into kind of like whore zombies, where they all have like their clothes suddenly change into kind of streetwalker clothes and things like this. And it's up to Babezilla to try and stop them. What'll happen? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out, won't you? So let's talk about what I think works in this movie. Obviously, you have to go into this film with a certain mind frame. But I will say this movie does have some good comedy moments. It's kind of obviously play for laughs. And if you have seen MILFs, the aforementioned MILFs vs. Zombies, it's very similar to that in a way. Yes, I mean, even the opening has a Star Wars kind of style opening crawl. And even that is quite funny, to be honest with you. Basically kind of like saying like, you know, you're going to be playing with yourself with this one, we know, but enjoy ultimately. And that's the thing with this movie, is kind of more or less a softcore porn film. There's a lot of nudity, and not just boobs, we do see other regions. So there's lots of that kind of going on. The movie is clearly trying to be absurd and kind of silly, and it does succeed in some ways. The idea when these zombie women are kind of, you know, changing from a regular woman to these kind of zombies, they just kind of twitch, and all of a sudden their kind of clothes change and they're wearing like PVC outfits and stuff. I've got to say it's kind of funny and very silly. And the movie just takes it to the next level. You know, we have a scene, for example, with Babezilla literally shooting lasers from her boobs, you know, with CGI kind of explosions on these kind of like these zombies and things like that. It's very low budget, don't get me wrong. If that sounds like an epic action sequence, I don't want to misrepresent this movie. It's made for like the change you find behind this, you know, your sofa. So it is very, very low budget, but it's just it does have a kind of schlockiness to it that is clearly aimed for the cheapest of trauma fans and things like that. You know, if you just like pure schlock in its unadulterated form, and you like the female form as well, there's plenty of that on display with this movie, then yeah, you can kind of have a little bit of a fun with this one. It's a short film. It only runs for an hour with credits, and the actual film probably around about 50 minutes, to be honest with you. So it doesn't outstay its welcome, which I think is probably the good thing, because realistically there's not really any genuine narrative there. It's just kind of like scenes of either Stephanie Love's character doing sexually, you know, sexual things like eating a lollipop for 5 minutes, eating a banana for 5 minutes, things like that, doing workouts for 5 minutes. Or we have these two, you know, drug dealers try to kind of like do a spoof on kind of Breaking Bad and stuff like that. Or we have these women kind of mincing around in sort of makeup. There's going to be quite fun scene where Babezilla transforms into her lizard self, and she's got like big laser guns and a kind of sports car and stuff. There's fun elements here. Okay, but let's now maybe transition to maybe what doesn't work. Obviously, the subject matter isn't going to be for everyone. It's purely like a movie that has like kind of a one-trick pony kind of style aesthetic. Yes, there's like sexy women doing kind of schlocky B-movie stuff. So if you like, you know, if you're a fan of porn or kind of B-movies, knock yourself out. But there's not much there other than that. You know, if I had a legitimate criticism of this film, there's scenes here that just go on for far too long, including scenes of Stephanie Love just kind of like eating an icy, for example, which is, you know, I get that it's supposed to be a sexual innuendo, but I'm thinking, how long is this going to go on for? It just carries on and carries on. And even scenes with these two, you know, meth dealers, which, again, they're all playful us. They're wearing kind of stupid wigs and clearly, I mean, I didn't even need to tell you how good the acting is because you could probably guess. But yeah, it just goes on for too long. Considering it's a short running time, you know, there's certain scenes here that do drag. Now, there's scenes where we have our, you know, our zombies changing from like women to kind of like zombies and stuff. They're a bit more fun. They tend to be a bit more kind of, there's a bit more variety in there. They get a few scenes where, you know, you get the horny guys finding these kind of like women and kind of ultimately getting eaten in various kind of body parts and things like that. They are kind of, again, low budget, but they're kind of fun. But there are sequences, and I gotta be honest with you, mainly involved with these two meth dealers, and I have to say, involving Stephanie Love as well, because there's just like, yeah, how long does it take? You know, we need to see a workout video. So, I mean, I have to say, you know, who is this made for to a degree? Because it's like, it's kind of like softcore porn, but then why don't you just watch porn, if that makes sense? And if you want a kind of a horror movie, why don't you watch an actual horror movie? So it's kind of, it occupies this strange space where it's kind of like an in-between film of porn and, you know, a schlocky kind of B-movie horror, but it never goes far enough into a proper porn film, if that is. Yeah, you see a bit of fanny, you know, let's just say it. You see a bit of fanny, there's plenty of boobs, but it's not a full-on, you know, porn film. And at the same time, if you want it for a, you know, an actual film, there's just not enough really in regards to any type of story. This film, I think, is good for watching a few scenes. You know, having a laugh, watching a few scenes. When you know, when Babezilla is revealed and stuff, it's a fun scene. When we have these kind of these women zombies, you know, turning in from regular kind of women to these zombie whores, yeah, they're kind of fun sequences. But I don't think, you know, you can watch like little minutes of chunks and it'd be quite enjoyable. But watching an hour is, you feel like, why you're watching it. Honestly, I can't say this is a good film in any stretch, because it isn't. It's meant to be a schlocky, crappy film. It does have some enjoyment value. It's clearly aiming to be a certain film, and I do feel it probably succeeds in that. I just feel, obviously, it's limited to who it would appeal to. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. I do think it has some entertainment value, and it does have some funny moments. But yeah, it is what it is. 4 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment.